So as usual, before we dive in and start playing with Unreal, we need to have some concept of what we're going to be doing. So this, again, is our game design document, our friendly starting point for all game development projects. By the way, on these slides at the bottom right, I'm going to be annotating with the version of Unreal that the tutorial was recorded in. So you're seeing it's in 4.10.2. That'll just help you be orientated if watching this once a later version is out. It always gives you the option to go back. Anyway, this is about game design, so let's just take a look firstly at the concept. What are we building here? The core concept is really simple. Escape the room. You're awakened in a locked room, unable to escape. Use environmental clues such as light and sound to determine what to do next. So we're going to design some nice, simple ways of trying to guide the player as to what they may need to be doing next. It's going to be a very small scope game because there's a lot of new stuff when we get into Unreal. We're going to do things like trigger pressure plates and solve at least the bull-cow puzzle to progress towards the exit. So that's the idea. Rules. Well, there's no lose condition apart from the feeling that you're going to die in this room if you don't get out eventually. Anything that you can do, you're allowed to do, so there's no kind of restrictions on what you're allowed to do. If you can do it, do it. And you win by finally exiting the room. Requirements. So what does this thing need to make it happen? Well, we're going to use Unreal's provided starter content pack. That's got plenty of wall sections and a table and a chair and some lights and doors and door frames and all the stuff we really need. If you've got assets that you've either bought or made and you want to bring those in, absolutely do that. But I'm just going to start with the starter content so we're all on the same page. We're going to need to write some C++ code and some Blueprint to encode the behavior. We're going to use C++ where it makes the most sense and Blueprint where that makes the most sense. We're going to need various sound effects to enhance the atmosphere. If we can't find stuff in the starter content pack, then I will provide you with sounds from a sound library that's been kindly donated to us, which we'll hear about later on. And you're going to need some sketches for the layout of your room or rooms. It's up to you, really, whether you build one room or multiple rooms. I would either build one big one or lots of little ones interconnected. I also encourage you to build a different layout to what I do in this section. And you're going to need sketches, or at least one sketch for how one puzzle works. Maybe don't sketch them all out yet because you'd be better off doing one, encoding one, making it work, and then design the rest maybe after that when you've got a little bit more experience about what would be involved before you go and get super excited and start trying to recreate the next version of The Witness or Myst or whatever else you love. There's a lot of programming involved in those things, and we're not quite ready for that yet. So that's it. That's the concept, rules, and requirements, and we'll see how it pans out. What I want you to do now is sketch your room or rooms. Sketch out one large room or a few smaller ones. Annotate where the puzzles will be, or at least your first guess. You can change any of this later. You can change your mind later. Create a more detailed sketch of one of the puzzles, just one. As I said, we want to make sure that we understand what's involved in actually implementing these things before we get carried away with some massive design that we may not be ready as a team, or whether that's a team of 1, 2, 3, or 300. We want to make sure we're capable of delivering what we're dreaming about. So let's deliver things as we think about them. This is very lean to just make one puzzle, get it completely finished, and then start thinking about the rest. We're kind of prototyping and testing all in one. And I want you to just share your sketches in the discussions with the other students. By the way, Evernote can be a great tool for storing these things. Once you've taken your sketches, then certainly on iOS and Android, you can take a photo of your sketches using Evernote on the smartphone, and then you can store it in Evernote and actually get a link to the hosted version of the Evernote. That's one way of storing these things. The good thing about Evernote is it will recognize your handwriting if it's reasonably neat and really help you find things later. So just a thought, you could use Evernote or you could use anything else. So that's it really. I want you to pause the video, in fact stop the video, go ahead and do your design now, and I'm going to pull out my sketches and designs as we go through the section as needed, so it'll be a surprise for you. And in the next video we'll start setting up our project and looking at Unreal's files and the file structure and version control and lots of fun stuff like that. So I will see you soon. See you. Video end.